Hi guys, good day to everyone. This video is intended to discuss the second to the last part of our chapter number 1, which is yung tinatawag natin na significance of the study. And to start our discussion, allow me to share my screen to you. Okay, there you go. So what we have on our screen is an example of significance of the study. So Sir Giovanni, bakit hindi siya katulad ng mga typical na video discussions natin regarding dun sa paggagawa ng research paper? Kasi ang significance of the study naman ay hindi siya ganun ka-technical as compare on the other parts of research paper that we have. Bakit? Kasi in significance of the study, dito lang natin i-discuss kung ano yung tingin natin na mabe-benefit ng community kapag binasa nila or kapag naging successful tayo sa paggagawa ng research paper natin. Ang crucial lamang dito is sino-sino yung mga members of academic community na ilalagay mo sa significance of the study mo that you think will benefit on the conduct of your paper. Kasi commonly, ang nagiging errors ng mga estudyante kapag ginagawa nila yung significant study na to is that hindi na nila kinoconsider yung nature ng kanilang problem or yung nature kung ano ba yung research gap na gusto nilang i-address. Halimbawa, may mga study na ang pinag-aaralan nila is may kinalaman na sa marketing strategy ng mga SMEs, businesses. And yet, nilalagay pa rin nila sa significance of the study yung parents, o di kaya naman ang nature na pala ng kanilang study is may kinalaman na sa context ng school. Tapos isinasama pa nila yung mga SMEs. So, ibig sabihin, as the researcher of the study, it is our responsibility to appropriately identify who are those persons na tingin natin immediately kapag natapos natin yung paper natin will benefit in the conduct of our study. And I have here a concrete example of a paper na nakapag-identify ng maayos na benefactors in the significance of the study part ng kanilang paper. And wala na dito yung mga typical na inilalagay natin kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo, it is our role to identify sino lang yung dapat ilagay. So, ang tingnan na lang natin dito is yung format. So, we have here the title, no? And then, in all parts of your paper, huwag mawawala palagi yung introductory statement, ha? Sa lahat ng part ng research paper natin, hindi dapat mawala yung introductory statement. And this is the introductory statement. And when you compose your introductory statement as well, you have to arrange it depending on sino yung pinaka magbe-benefit. Last na yung researchers of the study. Kasi ito naman ay kaya ninyo ginawa, bukod sa magbe-benefit kayo talaga dito is requirement talaga ninyo sa subject. Okay po. So, i-last na natin kayo. Yung iba na lang benefactors na magbe-benefit sa paper natin. Pero, kasama pa din kayo. Okay po. So, ito yung arrangement nila ng tingin nila pinaka magbe-benefit sa paper nila. So, obviously, ang unang magbe-benefit is yung mga pre-service teachers. Kasi yung study nila is may kinalaman sa challenges and opportunities of making instructional materials ng mga BA-Ed teachers or BA-Ed pre-service teachers. Then, inilagay nila dito yung mga mabe-benefit na pwedeng makuha just in case that they did study this paper. And then teachers, nilagay dito kung ano yung mabe-benefit. School admin nung school kung saan may mga estudyante na PE-Ed or pre-service teachers. Ito yung mabe-benefit. Then future researchers as reference material. Ito yung mabe-benefit. And then yun nga, researchers of the study. So, ihuli nyo na lang yung sarili ninyo even though technically kayo talaga yung immediate na magbe-benefit dito. I-consider na lang muna natin yung ibang mga benefactors. Pero wag ninyong aalisin ang sarili ninyo. And we have here the researchers of the study. Okay po, last part ang researchers of the study. And that's it. That's how simple yung paggagawa ng significance of the study. And I hope and I pray that you're able to understand how to make significance of the study. Thank you and God bless.